Thank you for joining us on this Friday, February 14th, live from the Beasley Media Complex in Boone. This is the Appalachian Weekly News. I'm Hadasa Rivera.
And I'm Katie Garceran. Watauga County could be next in line to pass Second Amendment sanctuary resolutions. 50 counties in North Carolina have already adopted these resolutions. Connor Hoy is a junior history major. He started a petition to make Watauga a sanctuary county. He says this would mean the county would not dedicate resources, funding, or personnel to support any state or federal gun control. He says this would include red flag laws and universal background checks. Hoy has over 200 signatures on the petition. Carson Jennings is a senior political science major. He says the petition doesn't have enough signatures to make an impact on the county. According to change.org, Hoy's petition would need 500 signatures to incite action. Watauga's neighbors Ash and Avery recently became Second Amendment sanctuaries.
With online education on the rise, an ad hoc committee has been put in place at App State. Michael Brandt is a faculty Senate chair member. He says the committee is based on the assumption that online education is the future. He believes online teaching can be very beneficial if done right. The committee's first goal is to establish App State's online identity and evaluate the online courses by providing a structure that monitors the quality compared to classroom teachings.
Though coronavirus is primarily an international concern, App State students have already been impacted by shifting studying abroad plans.
Our correspondent Anna Muckenfuss has the story.
Even though the coronavirus is considered to be a low threat to the United States by the CDC, App State students are feeling the effects of an international public health emergency.
As of February 10th, more than 300 cases of coronavirus have been confirmed in 24 other countries, according to the World Health Organization. Jesse Ludabingwa is the Associate Vice Chancellor for the Office of International Education and Development. He says his office has never seen anything of this magnitude.
We were concerned about the health and safety of the students. We were concerned about the ability to be able to remove the students, evacuate the students from China.
Symptoms of coronavirus, according to the CDC, are fever, cough, and shortness of breath. Margaret Bumgarner is the Administrative Director of Health Services. She says there are procedures in place should a student become infected.
If we identified such a person that came in, then we would isolate them in our isolation room. We would call the public health department.
Bumgarner says students who have returned from China have been examined.
They'll be monitored for 14 days. They're taking their temperature twice a day. One of our nurses is calling them every day.
Ludabingwa says as an administrator, he is unsure if it will be safe for students to travel in the summer and fall for classes.
In the fall, we don't know. We've made decisions for the summer, but we haven't made decisions for the fall. But then it's going to be up to individual students and their parents how comfortable they feel. At this point, as an institution, we've not made a decision for the fall.
There currently is no vaccine to prevent coronavirus infection. The best way to protect yourself, according to the CDC, is to wash your hands with soap and water frequently and to stay home when you're feeling sick. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Anna Muckenfuss.
Emotional support animals and therapy dogs are being used more and more by students and professors across campus. According to the National Alliance of Mental Health, 1 in 4 young adults struggle with a mental health problem. Alika Sparks is a government and justice studies professor. She brings her therapy dog to class for students needing comfort. She says her therapy dog helps her know how to better help those students. Kiosis says ESAs don't have to be trained, but need to have intuition of when a person is feeling down.
For 2 North Carolina natives, what started out as a hobby has turned into a career.
Singer-songwriter Sarah McComey and Austin McComey, otherwise known as the Chatham Rabbits, performed at Legends on February 7th.
They were accompanied by 4 other musicians, and this performance marked their first time playing live with the full band, who also appears on their newest album.
The Chatham Rabbits will release their second album, The Yoke is Easy, The Burden is Full, on May 1st. Their next show is scheduled for February 22nd at the South Mecklenburg Presbyterian Church in Charlotte.
The Chatham Rabbits concert marked the beginning of a full weekend of old-time music. Students got the chance to immerse themselves in Appalachian culture at the annual Fiddlers Convention last weekend.
That's right, the event included concerts, music, competitions, and a handmade goods market showcasing artists from all over the high country. Sam Swanner is the chairman of the Heritage Council. He says the convention lets students explore other avenues of Appalachian history and culture.
I think it truly shows students that there's a lot more to the Appalachian culture. My first event in Apps was Fiddlers Convention, and now I've realized that there was more I can learn about this area and history and region, and I kind of fell in love with it through the Fiddlers Convention, and now 3 years later, the roles kind of reversed to where now I was leading it.
The Fiddlers Convention is just one example of how App State provides a platform for traditional forms of music. A new diversity outreach program is bringing App State students and the community together. Sharon Price is the Associate Professor of Dance Studies. He says the DA African Dance and Drum Ensemble is a chance for anyone to come out and learn African music traditions. Price hopes that with this program, people understand that even though, quote, we're a part of the university, we're also a part of a larger group of people, unquote. The next workshop takes place February 22nd in the Varsity Gym Dance Studio 208. The drumming workshop will go from 10 to 11:30 in the morning, and dancers join from 11:30 to 1.
A new organization on campus wants to help women in Latinx culture feel comfortable in college life. The Appalachian Latina Student Mentorship Program will start meeting this semester. The program welcomes Latinx women and genderqueer students. Maria Hoffman is the creator of the program and the Community Access Coordinator. She says she met with HSA and Latinx leaders to see if there was a place on campus dedicated to supporting Latina students. Because there wasn't, Hoffman created a loss.
With the programs that I've been in, like for example this one, and then HSA, I've been surrounded more by Hispanics than I've ever been in my entire life. And so I was just a little bit shocked when I found out how small the actual population of like Latinx students are here.
Now we've grown to become the largest minority population in the university, and I think in large part that's because we see our people and we want to make those connections and retain our culture, because the second we step on campus, we realize that we miss a lot of things that we didn't know we would miss, like the language, the food. So I think that's a part of it, the ethnic intersection with the racialized perspective of our students on campus really kind of changes the vibe.
Bi-weekly meetings will alternate between conversation and developmental workshops. Between sessions, students will meet once a month with a mentor to discuss personal goals and development. ALAS meets Monday at 4:30 in the HSA room of the Student Union.
Sometimes all struggling students need is someone they can identify with to get through difficult times. Kiana Haynes is a postmaster's wellness trainee and substance abuse counselor at the Wellness and Prevention Center. She says as of 2017, Appalachia counties had higher rates of opioid addiction and overdose than other areas outside the region. Haynes says providing resources for mental, emotional, and physical health is one way to combat addiction. The Wellness and Prevention Center is available for any App State community member.
The Chinese culture helps students discover more about Chinese culture and customs. Sephra Muhammad is the president of the club. She says it gives students a space to come together and learn more about different parts of Chinese culture.
During meetings, members can participate in activities like calligraphy, martial arts, trivia, and scavenger hunts. Many of the members of the club aren't in Chinese classes. Jenna Godwin is a junior at App State. She says students should step out of their comfort zones and give the club a chance.
Learning about different cultures is really important because we are becoming a melting pot, and we are coming into a world where communication across all nationalities and all ethnicities is really important.
The Chinese Culture Club meets Thursdays at 5:15 in Ellis Dotery, room 113.
The first fraternity established on App State's campus was in 1976, and after 20 years of inactivity, freshman Giovanna Parazzolo decided to bring it back.
APO, Alpha Phi Omega. It's a co-ed service frat, so anyone is welcome to join. They're very separate from the social Greek life, so they make a point to make that clear. And so anyone can join, it's very accepting. And then the service part, they require 25 hours per semester, but the nice thing about them is they don't pick a specific organization. You can volunteer wherever your interests are.
Alpha Phi Omega is a service-based fraternity that focuses on leadership, friendship, and service. There are no minimum GPA requirements for students to join. However, members are required to earn a minimum of 25 service hours per semester. The next meeting for APO will be held February 17th at 5:15 in Crossroads.
Our correspondent Zenaira Marine Lopez has a story of students seeking outdoor career opportunities.
I'm here at the Outdoor Jobs Fair in the Plymouth Student Union. The fair is a great way for students of all majors to meet with professionals and talk about internship and job opportunities for the summer.
Employers were in attendance from summer camps to country clubs, and even UREC from App State. Karen Mellott managed a table at the fair, involved with Holston Camp and Retreat Center in Banner Elk, seeking employers for the camp this summer.
Holston Presbyterian Camp is a day and overnight camp. We're also a retreat center, so during the off season, we have groups come in and rent out the space. But as far as employers go, we're looking for people who love to work with kids, love the outdoors, like going on adventures.
Emily Pollich from Grandfather Country Club in Linville says the club is looking for students willing to work in jobs in many different fields.
We're kind of a cohesive country because it's a private club, so there are a lot of different positions between servers, bartenders, all the way to like maintenance, staff bar attendants, and professionals.
For more information on how you can lock in a summer job or internship, visit the Career Development Center in the Plymouth Student Union. For the Appalachian Weekly News, I'm Zenaira Marine Lopez.
2 weeks ago, we reported on a kitchen fire at the Appalachian Heights apartment complex. We now know there was extensive water damage to the floors and electrical fixtures in the ceiling of the first floor. Jacob Burleson is the Boone Fire Department fire prevention captain. He says the fire set off the alarm, which then activated one of the ceiling sprinkler heads. Timothy Christopher is a sophomore general theater major and resident of room 108. Which just so happened to be directly below the incident. He says he was brought back in to collect his belongings along with his roommate and found most of his furniture, bedding, bags, and schoolwork destroyed. Some residents were given $20 on their express accounts to clean their clothes in dorm washing machines. Sophomore Noah Rabe said university housing has been, quote, the bare minimum of helpful, unquote.
Earth Fair is closing its doors statewide. In a statement released on February 3rd, Earth Fair said that they, quote, weren't in a financial position to continue to operate on a go-forward basis, unquote. Jenny Ellerb is a Boone resident. She says she's disappointed about the closing because many products you find at Earth Fair aren't carried anywhere else. Other people are happy to see what will replace Earth Fair. Senior marketing major. She says the health food market is expensive already and Earth Fair isn't price competitive with other options. She says she wants a grocery store that would cater to the community.
I'd say I would agree with her, Katie. Now it's time to check in on sports with Connor Davidson. Connor, what have you got for us?
Thanks, guys. We're going to get things rolling with a little bit of tennis action. App State men's tennis suffered a pair of losses this past week. First, the Mountaineers took on Virginia Tech in Blacksburg on the 8th, but lost 6-1. Just 1 day later, App State took on Tennessee Tech with the same result, a 6-1 defeat. Now the Mountaineers look to get back on track against East Tennessee State on Sunday. App State women's tennis took on UNC Greensboro on Tuesday after a 10-day break. The Mountaineers carried the momentum from the last win into this match and beat the Spartans 6-1. This women's tennis team seems to have found its footing and look to continue that success tomorrow against UNC Wilmington. App State men's basketball took on Texas State on February 8th. This game was a thriller to the end. With 19 seconds left in the game, Justin Forrest hit a clutch go-ahead three to give the Mountaineers the win, 60-57. Forrest finished with 14 points, and O'Shawn Williams led all scorers with 19. Last night, App State took on Georgia State. The Mountaineers did not have quite as much luck as they did the game before and fell to the Panthers 76-65. App State now sits at 14-12 on the season and 8-7 in conference play. The next game for the Mountaineers is tomorrow against Georgia Southern. App State women's basketball took home a couple of wins this past week. On February 8th, the Mountaineers defeated Texas State 59-47 behind a great defensive effort. Bailey Plummer led the Mountaineers with 14 points and 14 rebounds, and Lainey Gosnell added 13 points. Yesterday afternoon, App State faced off against South Alabama. Another good defensive performance led the Mountaineers to a 71-59 victory. This time it was Pre Stanley who led the team in scoring with 19. Tomorrow, the Mountaineers look for their third straight win when they take on Troy. App State Wrestling had a high and a low this past week. On February 8th, the Mountaineers faced off against the Citadel. This match did not go well for the Bulldogs, and App State posted its third shutout of the season with a 44-0 victory. Yesterday, App State took on number 20 Campbell in a tough conference matchup. This time, the Mountaineers lost to the Camels 20-13 in a hard-fought match. This is the first loss for App State since December 13th, when they fell to NC State. Now the team has a 10-day break before they look to turn things around against VMI. I'm Connor Davidson. That's all I have for sports this week. Katie, Hadasa, back to you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Connor.
And now it's time for your High Country High Note. Two sisters from Arundel have made their way to Boone. Our correspondent Grace Smith has the story.
Arundel has come to Boone with our own fairy tale princesses, Emily Rayner and Mariah McKinney. Not only are they best friends, but they cosplay as two sisters, Anna and Elsa from Frozen. The duo call themselves the Ice Sisters, a name given to them by Rayner's mother. McKinney says she liked the name so much, she made a sign.
And I'm the one who wrote it down on my phone. And I actually said, put the Ice Sisters. So Ken actually the one put it together, actually, put us together doing that.
And we liked it, we agreed.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we'll stick with the Ice Sisters.
Yeah.
Rayner says they attend public events in cosplay, where their main goal is to make children happy.
We do Frozen Days at Watauga County Library for all the kids. Like
And Boo Boo.
Yeah, and Boom Boo. And the Blowing Rock Festival. And like, for the Frozen Days, we play the first movie and we sing some of the songs from it.
Yeah,
at least
we'll
3.
play it too.
Yeah. And we just watch it, and we sing 3 different songs from the movie.
Do you want to build a snowman? Come on, let's go and play.
Rayner and McKinney say that they feel connected to Anna and Elsa, but they can help children connect with their favorite princesses by playing the part.
I love dressing up as Anna because she kind of has the same attitude that I do.
And she's sassy like her too.
Yeah. And we do it mainly for all the little kids because they love seeing their princesses come to life.
Though these princesses are happy with being best friends, they say they will only find their happily ever after when they make a new friend to play Kristoff. Could it be you? For the Appalachian Weekly News, I am Grace Smith.
We will definitely have to go visit those Frozen sisters sometimes. That's our report this week. I'm Katie Garceran.
And I'm Hadasa Rivera.
For all of us at the Appalachian Weekly News, thank you for watching.
Have a happy Valentine's, and we'll see you next week.